Hi, it's Santed Taylor, the Internet Marketing Coach, and welcome to How to Get Top Local Search Rankings. This is a little training program that I'm doing to make up for a web-based training program that we did a week or so ago that the video did not record. And it's the first time I've used GoToMeeting many times, hundreds and hundreds of times, and I've never had the recording feature not properly work until this last program, and it didn't. And so I'm retaking the program, and on the last program, what we did is I had a lot of cues, a lot of questions, and what I did this time was change the program up a little bit to do it in kind of a question answer format. So let's jump right in with the first question, which is simply this: can you describe local search in just a couple of sentences? And of course I can describe local search in a couple of sentences, but more importantly, let me just show you very specifically. This is what we're talking about. When we're talking about local search, what we're really talking about is what you're seeing right here and right here on the map. You see the little flags on the map, and you see this, what I'm calling the ABC listings. Those are local search, and that's not that's not your website. That's not an organic ranking. That is something that's totally different and totally unique in and of itself. So, and what we have found is simply this: that having top rankings in this local search area can have a profound impact on your business if you do things that you provide services in a local kind of a market. The example we have right here, this is Willow Grove Dentistry, which happens to be a client of mine. And if you Google on dentist Willow Grove, then what you find is they come up #1 in the A. They have their A flag on here. So that's what we're really talking about in this program. And the types of searches that very specifically that this will work for are all kinds of searches that include a city name or a zip code. And this is another client of mine. I'm showing examples here of the various searches that people have actually done. I actually copied this right out of their Google Analytics, their Google tracking, and we can see that people Googled on mirrors 3340707, and that's a zip code that this company happens to service, and they show up and on that listing, and they get visitors as a result. And all of these, a commercial window repair with 33409, and then we have all these city names: Palm Beach or West Palm Beach, and Windows Jupiter, which is a city of Florida if you're not familiar with that, and Mirror Insulation Boca Raton, and Palm Beach County, all these different geographic terms. Now, there are also some terms that people will Google on that you will just not show up on. Again, these certain terms that we're just looking at, they'll show up on this map. But some terms you really need traditional search engine optimization for. Those terms are terms like Southern Oregon. That's not going to show up. You see, the whole map doesn't even show up here. You have the paid sponsored links, the ads, and then you have the organic listings. Now, this is another client of mine. We happen to have the #1 and #2 spot on this search term, but we did that through organic search engine optimization. Completely different than what we're talking about today, which is the local search option. So what we're going to talk about today, again, has to do with these maps. Whoops. The maps and this type of a search, not your organic search engine optimization. And they're both important and both necessary today, especially if you're serving local markets. So here are some of the similarities. One, your website. On your local search, and of course on your search engine optimization, it's essential. You can't have a ranking unless you have a website. On your local search, you actually could have a business on the map that does not have a website, but having a website puts you at a huge advantage. So I'm going to assume that you have a website, and we're going to walk through the process of getting your ranking higher on the Google Maps, and then have you also have people click over and actually go to your website. So let's look at how, or well, this is the next question came up. Why? Why do I need to have both? I already have a website. My website's already showing up. Why do I want local? Well, the reason you'd want to have a local is multiple impressions, right? The more times people see your name, see your business name on there, the more opportunities they have to click on it, the better. And so that's exactly the reason. So you don't have to have one. It just increases your odds of people actually going to your website. This one says, where does content fit into local search? Do I need to do a bunch of content writing or have somebody else write a bunch of content to get me up on the top of that map? And the answer to that is no. And if you are one of my current coaching clients, or if you've ever attended any of my other training programs, you will know that in traditional and regular search engine optimization, we spend a lot of time on writing what we call optimized content. And that's very, very important, and it's crucial. Well, on the maps, on what we call Google Places, or what's now called Google Plus Local, that's the new name for Google Places, the map listings that we were just looking at. But this content's not nearly as important, and no, you don't have to go through that process. So what do I need? What do you need to pay attention to if you want to get more visible on your local customers on Google? Here are the things. These are the 4 elements that are really important. You want to pay attention. Oh, well, first, the thing you want to do is you want to have a Google listing. So you have to go to Google. We'll talk about that more in a minute, and claim ownership of your local listing if you haven't already done that. 2, you want to have a website. So if you don't have a website, stay on the call. It'll be important to you, but or on the continue watching this program, but you really want to get a website. The next thing is what we call citations, and this is simply another way to say that you're listed on third-party websites. So there are other sites out there that you have a listing on. It might be a Chamber of Commerce site, a newspaper site, City Search, or some other kind of a website, but you want to have these other places out there that have your website listed on them. And fourthly, you want to have customer reviews. And of course, people can actually do a review in Google Plus Local and Google Local, or they can do reviews on Yelp and different review sites. But having those reviews is a definite plus for you. So let's look at it. Why do some businesses outrank others? Because you're probably listening to this and watching this saying, hey, I'm already on that map. I have a flag on there. The problem is that all my competitors are on top of me. They're A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I'm way down here at M or something. Well, let's look at some things that we can do, that you can do very specifically, that will help you boost yourself up the ranking. Now you can piggyback or leapfrog over the top of these other letters, right, over those other balloons, and put yourself up at the top. So here's what happens. Google, of course, looks at a bunch of stuff, just like in traditional search engine optimization. They look at all kinds of elements. But one of the things that you have to know, and it's really important on Google Local, is that you need to be located either in the actual city that we're talking about or within 2 to 5 miles of the town or city that you're trying to rank on. And if you're not right in that vicinity, geographic vicinity that you're wanting to rank on, you're not going to show up on that map. And that's, of course, where other search engine optimization comes in. Like, we have a lot of clients. I live in Ashland, Oregon, and I have clients here in Ashland, Oregon, but it's a really small town of only 20,000 people. And a lot of the people that serve this community also serve a nearby city, a larger city called Medford, Oregon, and they want to show up on both. Well, if their office is located in Ashland, they can have the little pin, the little flag in that Ashland Places, but they're not going to get that flag in Medford. So for the Medford search terms, what we do is we create traditional search engine optimization for that. So here's some things that you want to look at, or you want to do, so that you can do to outrank the others. The thing that says, the next thing we're looking at says, did you try to stuff a bunch of keywords into your Google Places listing? And if you did, that's not going to work. So go back, and if you're a dentist and you typed in dentist 15 times in your description, that will penalize you. It's not going to help you. It's actually going to hurt you. So make sure that you haven't done anything either intentionally or unintentionally that's going to cause Google to think that you're trying to, what they call spam, not email spam, but you're trying to spam, you're trying to manipulate the rankings by stuffing too many keywords in there. So that's one. Again, you want to have the website. Number 3 on the little list here is, Are you listed on other major websites like Yelp and City Search and Super Pages? And I'm not suggesting that you buy listings on anything at this point, but you do want to have listings in those other websites, and that's really important. And at the conclusion of this little training, I'm going to give you a tool that you can use that will, for free, automatically go out and check those listings and give you a total list of resources that you want to be listed on, and check whether or not you're listed there currently. Then the other thing that you have to ask is, do you have any customer reviews? And they don't all need to be positive reviews. You can have negative reviews. Obviously, we don't want negative reviews. I'm not saying that, but it's not as important that the reviews be positive. It's just important that you have reviews. Now, for a lot of other reasons, of course, we'd much rather have a lot of positive reviews, and we can talk in a minute about some strategies to increase positive reviews to your website, and that is an important thing. But what Google's really looking at is how many reviews does your site currently have, and you want to have those reviews on things like Google Listing, on the Google Places itself, and other sites. Here's a strategy, and this again, I mentioned earlier that I live in a small town, Ashland, Oregon, and this is a post that was done on our Chamber of Commerce website. Very, very creative and very clever. And what they did is, this is a little day spa, and they offered a 15% discount at the Cherish Day Spa if you go over and you write a review on their Yelp page or on our Google Place page. And then they put a link to each of those right there, made it very, very simple for people to do. Now, Yelp kind of has some rules about this, so this may not be 100% legit. I don't know. It's probably a kind of a gray area as to whether or not you can, kind of bribe people to review your site. But again, the concept was very, very good. And oftentimes you don't even need to give the discount. If you just ask people to like your site, oftentimes we all have customers who love us, but they just didn't think to go write a review. They didn't know how to go write a review. And this, of course, made it very, very simple for people to do that. And then what they did is, when you clicked on that link to Google Plus, what they actually did is it linked you right over to this page where you can write your review. So it's, share your experience right down here at the bottom of the page. You can see how you do that. Right here, click right here, write a review. So again, very clever way to increase your reviews on your website. And of course, a high likelihood in this case, it's going to increase the positive reviews on the website. Let's move forward. What about if and when my business gets to the top of Google local search results? Do I need to continue to worry about or give thought to this whole process, or can I just say, hey, I'm done with it, mission accomplished, I don't, I can go on to the next thing? Well, you don't have to give as much thought to it, let me just say that. But you don't want to forget about it entirely either. Everything evolves. Google has gone through a tremendous amount of change recently within the last 6 or 8 weeks, with having to do with their Google local search. So that will evolve, and that may cause you to rank higher and lower over time. And the other thing that will definitely cause you to rank higher or lower over time is competitors. So competitors will come into the market, competitors will leave the market, people will become more savvy and better optimize what they're doing. They'll get more reviews. So yes, from that perspective, you do have to at least monitor that. One of the things that I definitely do with my own websites and with all my coaching clients' websites is we definitely monitor the rankings on all of those things, because it is important. Again, what you'll find is that by having these top rankings, you will add, again, I don't know your business or your market, but it's not at all uncommon to see this add dozens or hundreds of visitors every single month, and sometimes many hundreds of visitors every month, as simply by showing up on that Google Places listing. So it can be very important. Here's another question that came up on the call the other day. It says, the online Yellow Pages wants me to sign a contract with them. Is that enough? Let me answer that as delicately as I as I can, and I'm not a real delicate guy. My question to you is simply this: Do you ever go to them? I mean, if Yellow Pages or anybody else, do you, when you're Googling anything, do you find their listings? And if so, do you ever click on them? And if your answer to that is yes, then I say, maybe you ought to buy the ad. I don't know. My experience has been not many people do that. I have the terrific opportunity to look at the analytics of dozens and dozens and dozens of clients, and I've had the opportunity to look at many hundreds and hundreds of analytics over the last several years, and I have never seen, and I say that with absolute confidence and certainty, never seen a significant amount of traffic coming from those types of websites. So I would spend, if I spent any money at all, I would be very, very cautious and monitor the results very closely to determine whether or not it's worthwhile for you. As you can probably tell, my suspicion is that it will not be profitable for you. What are the biggest or most common mistakes that business owners make as it relates to local search? Set it and forget it. You know what I mentioned earlier. This is what people do. They have this tendency. Well, one, they just don't do anything about it at all. But that we're not seeing that much anymore. Most people are recognizing this has become important. But what they don't do is they just go in there and they'll claim their listing on Google. They'll add little profile stuff. Maybe they'll put a link to their website, and then they're done. And that's the end of the story. Well, I'm telling you that shouldn't be that's not a good place to start or to stop. So you definitely want to monitor it, pay attention, and continue to improve it. Get more listings, get more rankings, and all that sort of thing. Next, what can you do today, right now, to get more to become more visible, to get more traffic in these local searches? Well, here's what I want to talk to you about. One is you got to go out and create the listing, right? Make sure you've claimed it. You've got to do that on Google Plus Local, and you can just Google on Google Local, and you'll find that. That's not difficult to do. Add your name, your address, and your phone number to every page of your website, not just the Contact Us page. Put it in the footer, put it at the bottom of every single page of your website. That's important. Make sure, number 3, make sure your home page has information about your services. So not just a splash page or something that's very generic. You put some detail in there about what it is that you do. If you're an insurance agent, put some information on there about your insurance agency and the services you provide, the types of insurance, and so forth. Again, detail is important here, because what that's doing is it's telling Google that this website is about these things. This is what you provide. Then this, I mentioned earlier that I was going to give you a little tool, and I'm going to give you a little demonstration of this in just a second. But I was going to give you a little tool that would show that it'll scan the internet and determine where you are listed, where your website is listed, and where it's not, and where you're mentioned on other websites. And it's going to rate that, and it's going to give you some suggestions to improve your local listing. So I'm gonna demonstrate that in just a quick second. And then the last one is get reviews from your customers. How do you do that? Good question. How do you get reviews from your customers? One, you ask, right? It's very simple. Just ask. Hey, would you mind? That's that simple. And then show them how. I mean, depending on your client base, not everybody's incredibly savvy with all this internet stuff. And if you can just show them, this is how you do it, and you can do that, in your office if that's appropriate, or you can just provide some very simple instructions either at your website in a video like this type of a video, or you can give them a PDF document or print something out and hand it to them before they leave your office. Whatever makes sense to you and your unique business, but the idea is ask and show them how, and that will help you start getting those reviews. Absolutely. Okay, let's move forward. Oh, the blog. Oh, this is just about me, and I might as well hit this now since I went to this page. I was going to demo the get listed. I'll show you that real quick. But if you're not already a subscriber of my blog, the Internet Marketing Tips blog, go to the internetmarketingcoach.com, and it's dashes between all the words, the Internet Marketing Coach, dashes between all the words.com. And once you get there, you can subscribe to the blog, and you'll get a bunch of what I think are important and good updates all the time. And so let me show you real quick this listing. So it's getlisted.org, getlisted.org. So you're seeing that right up there. Here's what you do. You just enter your business name. This is a new client of mine, brand new, just started with them a couple of days ago. We haven't done anything for them yet. We're just getting started. And so this is their name, Sierra Weight Loss. This is the zip code in which their business is located. We simply now click check my listings. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to see it in real time, exactly what's going to happen here. This is what you want to do. Take your business name and your zip code, the zip code that your business is located in, come over to getlisted.org, plug both of them in, check my listings, click the check my listings box, and wait, right? It appears that's what we're doing right. There it is. So here's what it says. The listing is 17% complete. Not too exciting, right? That hopefully yours will be higher than that, and theirs will be very, very soon, I assure you, because we're going to get right on this for them. But it says Google Plus. Yeah, you're listed there. Now, so we can then click on it, view additional details, so we can go in here and we can see what they have, and we can make modifications and so forth as needed. We might want to add photos on there. Of course, we will want to add photos on there. But Bing, you're not found at all. Add your listing. So you say, yeah, we definitely want to add our listing to Bing. You go in, you sign in, you go through the process. So that is the idea. A very great tool. And you can see it goes down through Yelp and Foursquare and Yahoo and Super Pages and YP.com and City Search. So there it all is. A very, very easy to use, simple do-it-yourself tool. Now, I do want to say this. If there's a lot of people say, yeah, this is all terrific, Ed, but I don't want to do all this. I want to have someone do it for me. And if that's the case, that's what we do. I mean, we do the coaching. So if you or somebody on your staff wants to handle all this, and I support that idea 100%. I think it's great to be able to manage all these things yourself and to monitor and stay in control of it all. And I also understand that oftentimes people have a business to run and they don't want to have that level of involvement. And if that's you, we'll help you with all that as part of our coaching program. If you have any questions about that, just simply give me a call. Let me give you my number. It's 541-482-4840. 541-482-4840. As I mentioned earlier, I'm out in Ashland, Oregon. Anyway, so that's this program. Hopefully you'll find this useful and helpful in you obtaining and maintaining top rankings on these local listings. If you have any questions, feel free to call at the number I just gave, or pop me an email at ed@edtaylor.com, ed@edtaylor.com. Pretty simple. And I'll do everything I can to help you. And check out our coaching program if you'd say, hey, I need a little help in search engine optimization or email marketing or pay-per-click advertising or getting to the top of the local searches. If you need any kind of help with any of that, or improving your conversion ratio of your website, which is a huge thing that we focus on. If you need any help with improving the results produced by your internet marketing efforts, let me know, and we'll go through our program with you and see what we can do to help you out. Anyway, it's Ed Taylor, the Internet Marketing Coach, signing off. Take care.